125 members make up the House of Representatives. 46 members make up the state Senate. Collectively, these 171 men and women make up South Carolina General Assembly. They are elected from single-member districts to read, write, and pass legislation that benefits the constituents in their respective districts and the state. Earlier this week, Governor Nikki released her 2011 legislative report card in which she graded legislators on how they voted on pieces of legislation that she deemed important to her legislative agenda. I had the opportunity to catch up with several legislators who received failing grades. By the governor releasing this legislative report card, what type of message do you feel that it sends to the public when she's grading legislators based on how well they voted on her legislative agenda?
Well, I think that it would be a whole lot better if the governor was out trying to get jobs for this state instead of worried about whether her legislative agenda is being met. I think that last time I was elected for the people to make sure that they and their agenda was met. You know, it's got to be a thing up here now. Every organization, Department of Commerce, Chamber of Commerce, every organization, the Chamber of Commerce, BIPEC, all these groups up here, they come up here and put out their scorecard. And, you know, their scorecard doesn't mean anything to me. It's the people back home and their agenda. And you vote against something or for something for various reasons. Sorry that the governor felt to give me a D, but I think the people of my district and the people of this state was benefited by the votes that I've taken up here, and to grade any legislator up here, to grade any legislator up here on a 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 votes in a situation like this for the entire legislative session is childish. And you know, and then not accept the fact that the legislature probably should grade her, and if they grade her on much more than just this, I think that she would probably receive a failing grade. And I from what I'm hearing from people, they think this is a childish political ploy. And you know, you got to get out the campaign mode. Let's get into governing. Let's get into doing something good for the people of South Carolina, and do something about unemployment, do something about immigration, do something about public safety. Let's get in there and clean up our government.
Despite a majority of Democratic legislators in both the House and the Senate receiving failing grades, there were, however, a few Democrats who received a passing grade from the governor. Representative Neal, in your opinion, what does it say about Democratic legislators who might have got a, say, passing grade from the governor?
I think it says that they bought into much of her agenda. I think it says that there are some questions that need to be asked about why. And those questions should be asked by their constituents, not by me.
And what type of impact does a document like this have in the legislature?
Not much. The reality is that this is that's not a good way to win friends and influence legislators, in my view. The reality is that there are no surprises in that. This is a very partisan legislature, fairly deep divides between Democrats and Republicans. And as a result, we all knew who was going to pass and who was going to fail. The reality is that those who voted for the governor's agenda got an A. Those of us who disagreed or dared to disagree got an F. I think that good governance is about not just walking in lockstep, but questioning and challenging and proposing better ideas. And that's kind of where we are right now in South Carolina. Those of us who are the loyal opposition will continue to do just that.
So tell us, by grading a legislature, giving them an F, what type of, what does that do to foster bipartisan relations? Do you think it's helpful or harmful?
It's not helpful. You know, there are those who will be fairly resentful of that. There are others who will find it funny. And yet still others who will wear it as a badge of honor. So I don't see it as being a real tool. It's more PR than it is anything else. It's a campaign tool. It's a campaign gimmick. And it has no real basis in reality here. Our next step is to continue to try and build bridges and bipartisan compromise around issues. And I underscore try. If that fails, then the only position we have left is to stand on principle and fight for what we believe to be right and fair and just.